Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Kanto Classic tier. They've got this new metagame tier running right now in honor of the 20th anniversary. I think it's actually as part of like an actual Wi-Fi battle competition that's going on, but this is obviously a battle simulator, so you can come test teams for that, online competition. Here. I believe they're giving out a Dragonite or something, but I'm not participating in that. I figured, though, while we're doing, I had my top 10 list come out several weeks ago, on the day of the 20th anniversary, so there's been a couple of weeks since that happened now, but they still got the Kanto Classic running, and so I figured I'd jump in here. I love the first generation so much, and so basically the rules of this Kanto Classic is, it's basically kind of first gen rules. You can't have held items, obviously abilities still take effect, and you can only use Kanto Pokemon. So beyond that, I don't think there's a whole lot of other rules in place. I didn't look that much in depth with it, but I built a team here of Pokemon that I like and that I thought would be useful, and just kind of jumped in here, and it worked out pretty well. So we went up against last day for this, and Dopey going up against Machamp here. The Machamp's got the burn. Unfortunately, Dopey is hitting itself, so that's unfortunate. The Machamp goes for the Encore there, but didn't do it much good seeing as we use Psychic, so that's unfortunate for him. Their Slowbro comes in at this point and is going to start setting up the Calm Minds. I'm going to throw up those Thunder Waves and then get on out of there, bringing in Thor. Before he raises its special defense too much, I want to try and whittle away at it with Thunderbolt here. We get lucky there, and the Slowbro paralyzes before it's really able to do a whole lot. Unfortunately, the next turn it throws up that Psyshock, which is going to finish off Thor there, but Kraken comes in and finishes with the Earthquake there, and then gets the Moxie boost. Snorlax comes in and starts setting up some curses here, and so I want to like, oh crap, I don't really have time for this, and so I start throwing up the waterfalls, just hoping that that'll be enough. Unfortunately, he's going to continue to set up curses here, and our waterfalls are not going to be enough. I believe he rests here, so yeah, he's getting all of his boosts up. Finally has to go to sleep there, so I'm like, okay, well, while he's asleep, I'm going to throw up these Dragon Dances. Two can play this game, so I'm going to try and get my boosts up here a little bit, get us in a position where we can actually handle this Snorlax a little bit better. He wakes up at this point, though, and his attack boost, I'm not boosting my defenses at all, so that Crunch really rips through Kraken there, and in 2 turns is going to finish him off. At which point Fumsy comes in, lands the burn, so that works out pretty nicely. At least helps us with the attack there a little bit. Throw up that Sludge Bomb, which is going to not really do a whole lot, and the Snorlax is once again going to rest, which gets rid of the burn, and is going to obviously heal it all up. At which point Dopey comes in. I figure, well, if he's boosting his physical defense a lot, let's start throwing up some special defensively stuff. Snorlax is a special defensive tank just on his own, though, so still not going to do great. Dopey is able to do pretty decent damage to the Snorlax, and he decides to set up another curse here at this point, and then switches out, knowing that, oh, whoops, I hit curse instead of rest, probably, and knowing that Snorlax would die at that point. To another Psychic, so he switches out to save him. Dopey able to finish off the Arcanine there with a Scald, at which point Snorlax comes back in. That Earthquake does decent damage to Dopey, but finally going to be able to finish it off with another Psychic from Dopey there and end the battle. So, yeah, a fun, close battle there, 35 turns, so, a couple of stally things going on there, Snorlaxes are tough to get through, as are sometimes Slowbros, and as we'll see, I think in the next battle, Clefables. But let's jump into that now. Let's see what the second battle for today has in store. Here we go. Alright, so apparently no Clefables in this battle. That must have been one of the ones that I actually was doing pretty good in and they forfeited or something. I had a couple of forfeits while in process here, but Slimer leads off, and I throw up the Will-O-Wisp and then the Sludge Bomb, which goes ahead and finishes off the Kingler there. Able to throw up that Shadow Ball while they miss on the Hypnosis and finish off their Gengar, at which point I'm going to be able to Will-O-Wisp a Nightwing the Golbat there. Slimer takes a hit, but not as hard as I would expect considering the super effective nature, but obviously we just got the burn, so that probably contributed a good deal to it. Slimer comes out in favor of Thor to finish off the Golbat with a Thunderbolt there, at which point Zapdos comes in, and Zapdos is going to get hit by Hidden Power Ice, which Thor is carrying, as it sets up its agility and throws up the Ancient Power. Thor can take that pretty well. So we throw up the Thunderbolt there, and does pretty good damage to the Zapdos, and then we're going to Volt Switch on out, finishing off the Zapdos and getting Thor off the field, leaving room for Kraken to switch in. Now I did, I kind of face-palmed a little bit because I put Stone Edge on this thing as opposed to Ice Fang. I was deciding between the two, and I was like, we'll do Stone Edge. But Ice Fang probably would have one-shotted that Dragonite, so that's a bit disappointing. Kraken and Hurley go down quickly to Outrages, at which point Dragonite slips into the Confusion and finishes itself off in Confusion there, so we got pretty lucky at that rate. Slimer takes a hard Psychic from the Alakazam and is going to go out, at which point Dopey comes in and takes a hard Energy Ball from Alakazam. I throw up the Thunder Wave, and that's going to give us a turn to throw up the Slack Off, although we do get Energy Balled again, which takes us back to the red, at which point I decide, okay, well, whatever, we're not going to really win that battle, so let's just throw up a couple of moves here. We get one Scald, and then Scald number 2 crits, finishing off the Alakazam. The crit probably mattered in terms of Alakazam dying right there, but I had both Weezing and Jolteon in the wings, so chances are we probably would have been able to do something, although Weezing probably would have just died in one hit, but Jolteon could have easily handled Alakazam. So anyway, guys, so that was the Kanto Classic. A fun little tier commemorating the first generation of Pokemon and the 20 years that have elapsed since then, and I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoy the first generation of Pokemon quite a lot, so it was cool getting to build a team of, a lot of these aren't even ones I would normally use necessarily all the time, but they were fun to use nonetheless. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all back here next time. Alrighty, guys, have a good one.